This coverage is brought to you by Rami Rent.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to some more disc golf media coverage. We are coming at you today with the fourth stop on the European Pro Tour. We are here in Estonia. I'm Tony Ferro.
And with him, Connor Wood. Excited to be back together here, Tony. Looking at some more great coverage from this European Pro Tour.
No doubt. Got some great familiar faces here today. Some new ones as well. Probably not going to be the best weather, though.
I think you would be right. Quick shout out as well to two men who have really done a lot of work to put this tournament together. Martin Rottmeister and Tarmo Laikso. Done a great job to make sure everything goes smoothly. As we take a look at the tour standings here, we see the Hemme brothers in first and third place. Niklas Antila has now snuck his way into second. Bunch of good names from fourth onwards. Still a tight battle.
Very tight indeed as we get into our feature card today. First up, we have Severi Saviniemi. Sorry, I'm killing your name. Coming out of Finland.
And joining him, we have Mathias Villota from Estonia. Perhaps a few local lines from this man here might be comfortable playing in his home country.
Got that huge forward James Honrad hop there. Next up, we got a familiar face, Jakub Semerád, coming out of the Czech Republic, 10-11 rated. Huge game from this youngin'.
And last but not least, we have Knut, Valen, Håland, 10-16 rated, coming out of Norway. We have a great card shaping up here for an exciting round one front nine.
Should be exciting indeed. Let's kick it off. We got hole one, island hole to start you off. Slightly uphill, fairly wide open. Can see a few big guardian trees right before you get into that island green. But you can pretty much pick your poison here. You can go straight up the middle, big hyzer around the outside. Whichever way you want to do it, land yourself inside those stakes. Get on the green for that first birdie of the round.
And I love it. Good old island hole to get us started. Keep these players honest. Hazard if you don't make the circle.
All right.
As we see Severi up first here to get us started.
Have not seen this guy yet. I'm curious to see his game. Looks to be Prodigy sponsored. And going straight up the middle, he looks, just to be outside the island. That looked really close.
And here we see Mathias. Also rocking a smooth Prodigy top there. Let's see if he's able to make the correction. It's looking good as he slides his way up there. That is a minty.
That is the way to get it started. Just outside the bullseye. Should net him the birdie to start him off. Jakub up next. Looks like
he is coming off that great performance at the PCS Sula Open just recently. I think he'll be riding that momentum here.
You are correct indeed, not to mention the 16th place at the European Open. Very well done by that young man as he slides into the island, into the green for his birdie chance.
Great point. And we see Knut now to round out the first throws of this MPO feature card. Ooh, a little low out of the hand, but
Did he get
make it?
No.
Oh, there's a moment of mystery there as it looked like he may have slid in, but our spotter gives us confirmation.
It was sure close. That cannot be but half a meter outside the circle there. Knut will be up first to save his par. Just a little inside left to get him started. He'll have a little bit of work to do to save the bogey, but shouldn't be anything too hard.
Severi trying to pierce that guardian tree for his par, also unable to connect and get his way out of there. We see Knut putting again, speaks to the accuracy of Mathias and Jakub, but he fires into the cage with quite some power. Let's see him put it in. There we go.
Unfortunate double bogey to start him off, but this is the first hole. Little jitters. Get yourself out of the gate and just continue on with the rest of the round.
And an island hole with hazard really can play some tricks on your mental game. Not getting any leniency if you are to miss that. Just playing right where your lie is with the penalty. No drop zone here.
And it is a big island at that, so when you do miss it, it is not a gimme putt.
Great birdies from Jakub and Mathias there to secure their 2. This is for bogey for Severi, and he puts that one in nicely. First hole in the books. We got a couple of 2s, a 4 and a 5.
All over the scoreboard here. Let's get into hole number 2. Got a par 3, 112 meters. Soft hyzer in the woods. You see these 2 guardian trees that we're coming up on right now. Those are the ones to miss. You have got to miss those, or else your birdie chance is pretty much done. Well, once you clear those guardians, you're going to start to do a righty backhand hyzer into the green. Be careful, the OB on that left side does get pretty tight as you come in. Greens here are always a bit fast.
And we got the local Mathias up first. Looking like he's just pured the gap off the tee. But he doesn't manage to hyzer out soon enough. Looks like he's thrown it a bit too straight. It's tough to say exactly where he landed, but I think he got a good amount of distance.
Yeah, he did go right side from the trees. You really want to split him like Jakub almost did there. He went inside, so he's going to be sitting pretty, though. That was really nice. I thought he would get a bit more fade out of that spike hyzer, but it sat down really well.
Drops it in nicely. Severi now also opting for that same more inside gap, and that's the extra fade and skip which we were maybe expecting from Jakub's very similar line out of those last 2. Severi once again caught up in the trees. He'll have another obstructed putt.
But he did stay safe nonetheless. That OB left side gets real tight there. You can see the stakes come into play. But wow, Knut just parked that shot there. Really showing you the line.
That's a way to bounce back after double bogey on 1. Mathias, good little bid there.
Yeah, nice soft nose up floater from right through a bunch of trees. And you can see Severi there. Wow, with a knee putt. Holy cow, I was just going to say how close he was to the OB. He doesn't care. He's going for birdie.
Just his first 2 putts here, both off the knee. He's unable to capitalize on hole 1, but snags it on hole 2. I'm sure that'll feel good. Get him started.
Absolutely. No.
I think he had an abbreviated stroke there. Those hanging branches you see swinging on the right, I think in his way.
Yeah.
You see Jakub now for his birdie.
And this will be for back-to-back start. Absolutely beautiful for Jakub. Knut will also be cashing in the birdie, taking back one of those strokes from hole 1. And an unfortunate bogey for Mathias.
Just like that, by hole 2, Jakub, the only player here bogey-free on this feature card. Tell us about hole 3, Tony.
This one is a doozy. 146 meter par 3. You're coming slightly downhill off the tee. as you get into this really open area, you can see the OB is everywhere, and it starts to just bottleneck as you get towards the basket. Righty backhands can either take a huge hyzer if you can get that far, or try to do a little soft ante and flex it out. Really need to land that disc soft though. Don't get too much fade to the left or right.
And these shots really showing you how lush and thick this greenery is, as Jakub throws a nice hyzer, flattens it out to get the distance, swings it back in. Oh, does battle it for a moment, but keeps himself safe. He looks to have a circle to look for his third birdie in a row.
Now you can really see you got to get a little bit of anhyzer, just catching a bit of right side drift to keep you middle in the fairway. Severi did that very nicely there, just coming up a little bit short. But you can see you got to drift it a bit to the right to be able to get towards that basket.
Ooh, Knut not quite flipping it up to flat, does have quite a high release.
And there's the danger.
And out of the hand, that was unfortunately what was expected from his release angle. We'll see Mathias now try to make the correction. That's a nice throw.
There you
can
go.
see he gets that turnover right. And it's really finishing straight, not getting that big overstable finish the others did.
Yeah, just needed 1 or 2 meters more height on that shot, and he would have been under the pin.
Severi now, long look for his birdie. Good bid, just hangs it out a little bit right.
Yeah, that's a long go to try and think you're going to capitalize on that a lot.
For sure.
Knut
Sure,
up.
this man wants it, though, to save his par.
So close, just over the top of the band. We know he can capitalize from way downtown.
Oh, and Jakub with the stepper. You know, he loves as soon as he's outside the circle, he's looking for that step, but just connects with the basket.
Yeah, it's early in the round. He's just getting warmed up on that. I know we're going to see one cash in there. We see Mathias just coming up tiny bit short on that putt, circle 2.
Oh, Severi from maybe 5-6 meters, just a little bit low. Knut gonna make sure to put that right in. You say you saw he gave it a little more height than maybe he needed to after Severi's putt, but well within the basket. Good,
Yeah, that could be a big
bogey
head
save there.
game thing there. Just seeing somebody just crack the front cage from close, and then you got to go up right next to him. That can really mess with your mind.
Or when, 2 or 3 of your card mates maybe float one over the top, miss down the side. Putting is 90% mental.
Hole number 4. Let's get to a par 4. 154 meters. Got this soft right fade off the tee. And then you're going to come up to this wall of trees right here. This is what you need to miss to get to the sweet spot. You pass those trees, get around in this zone here. You're going to set yourself up for a nice, easy approach. Only a few trees in your way, couple guardians, but you can get onto that nice open green in the background. Get yourself a birdie here. Really got to control that tee shot.
I'm curious to see if they go for more of a placement or a big rip. Jakub, definitely with the driver in his hand, gave it a soft turnover, and he is dead center. Great shot.
Not bad. Maybe a little bit shorter than he was hoping for, but nonetheless, in the open. I was wondering if we were going to see this.
Wow, I do like it. And I was going to say, Jakub positioning himself for a great 3. Mathias gets way more distance, putting himself well within the fairway up there. Did he bounce off a branch?
He sure did, but this is the aggressive play here to get this roller going. You can see it's a bit tight off of the tee, but if you can clear it, I mean, you get huge distance, and the fairway shapes really well for the roller angle.
Good stuff by both those two men. We see Knut also opting for the roller.
Yeah, that tree on the left side, right off of the tee, just kind of messes with your head for a roller shot. Tend to yank it to the right when you do those, when you have that kind of stuff in the way. Ooh, Jakub, just a slight miscue on that approach shot. Looked to be in a great position, though.
And that's what I was thinking. These guys went for the roller to give themselves more distance, but it seemed like more of a placement shot off the tee was all you need. We'll see what Knut... Oh, but he's way up there. These guys have just little chip hyzers to put themselves up there.
Yeah,
Great shot by Knut.
With the roller, you get amazing far distance up there. Almost, yeah, I was going to say almost jump putt eagle range if you can control that angle and get it to roll straight for a while. And we see Mathias and Severi both having jump putt approaches. Just easy up and downs for the birdie.
And a nice design here to try and push our players to go for that risk reward. Jakub from deep. Oh, floats it just by. Super close.
Almost saving the birdie. And we see Severi just tapping his in. Just outside the bullseye. Knut will do the same. And Jakub will be losing a stroke to the card with his par.
And the different cards here did have pretty different weather conditions. Throughout the day there were intermittent showers. So this card right now playing in the dry conditions, but it was a big mixed bag.
Well, the drone coverage looks beautiful. As we get into hole 5, 108 meters. Got these two gaps right as you get into these trees here. The left side's going to be your tight gap, but pure gap. The right side's going to be a little bit safer, but you're just going to have to gamble with the trees when you do that. Make your way through that wall. Get into the opening here to this slightly uphill green. Pretty tough par 3.
Looks difficult with that tight gap and that sloping green. Very cool basket placement though. Mathias connecting with an early tree. See Severi opting for more of a flippy backhand line.
Yeah,
straight down the pipe.
That's the shot. That's what you want to see. Really liked that. That was a flippy disc. Putting it out on hyzer, getting the late turnover. Great execution.
And a great tool to have in the bag that you can release on a hefty hyzer angle and know it's not going to fade out on you. Knut's there holding on perhaps a little bit longer. His release point slightly late. He hangs it out right and connects with a tree. I think he'll be pretty pinched to try and save his 3.
I would agree. Hitting early on this hole is trouble.
Jakub looking for a big flex as well with the forehand and manages to break on through.
Well, there's that gamble situation, just picking the right side. Not sure if he wanted to go there, but he did squeeze through all the trees, and he is circle 2's edge with that backboard behind the basket.
I think after Knut's, he can't have been aiming for that, right? If he was, shout out to him. Hit his gap.
No doubt.
Nice little approach there from, I believe, Mathias. And we see, Knut has an all right forehand hyzer look, taking the biggest gap, I'm sure. There it is. And swings it up nicely to the basket.
Yeah, you could see the right side is a bit on that safer end when you can just leave it to fade left. Oh, wow, as we see Jakub go from deep coming into the cage there. Good sit, though. Did not roll away.
Agreed. We see Severi now. Oh,
Get it. What a putt.
He gets that soft turnover backhand, pures the gap, makes a circle 2 putt to secure his birdie, well earned by Severi there to put himself 1 under par now.
No doubt. Mathias cashing in a great par save as well from 6-7 meters up the hill.
I love the freedom that the backboard gives these players to fire their putts, fire their approaches. No
doubt.
hesitation.
And these guys seem to be getting warmed up now here. Putting is getting hot now. I like it. Like what I'm seeing.
As we see 3 pars and 1 birdie, we move on. Check that beautiful shot out.
Oh yeah, hole 6.
Crazy shape.
We got a par 4, 182 meters. You got this straight shot off the tee and this gap to hit. You really got to hit this gap. Most of these backhand righties are just going to go huge off the tee, trying to punch through that gap high in the air and just let the disc start fading left out here. Once you get around here, you can see the OB on the left side, so you really got to make sure that you push forward. But if you make the gap, you have a pretty easy approach, just that one grouping of trees between you and the basket. Lots of room. Big thing is this tee shot. We see Severi doing the exact thing you need to do.
I think he was listening to you, Tony. Oh, he throws it a little bit straight.
I'm going to say a little bit long as well, but that's not that bad. He's right on the fringe of the forest there. Mathias is going with the little bit tighter line, and that is the danger. Did he stay safe? No.
Fell straight down in that sliver of OB. I think, as far as I can tell, it looks like something that you'd want to throw a little flex with a very overstable disc. These guys getting the full hyzer flip, riding very straight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard thing to say because the miss for me would be long, like these guys are doing. You want to make sure you get the straight distance, get out there, get past the OB, and then let the disc fly to the left side by itself.
It's a fair point. That is the safer of the 2 mistakes, as we see those guys firing long but well within bounds. I like this height from Jakub. I think he'll start to stall
clean.
out.
Oh, yeah. That's the shot you want.
That is clean.
Catches a really late tree, but does it really matter? I mean, that was humongous. He will have 40, 50 meters left to get into that green. Very well done by Jakub.
And we see Mathias from his lie. I would guess he took a little bit of distance off the OB line there backwards, using that option to open up his gap. He throws a big Anheuser forehand and puts himself dead center fairway.
Yeah, that should be enough to get him up and down for the bogey. He would have to do something pretty incredible to save the par.
And you see Severi there. He did go a bit long, but with a nice open look. You saw him swatting around. There are quite a few flies and mosquitoes on the course at this time of year, so focus is definitely going to play a big part in this round today.
Oh, yeah. They are thick in Estonia with the mosquitoes. Gotta be covered in the bug spray.
Jakub, I think, kind of lucky to fire through that tree and get to the other side with that approach. He did catch quite a few branches, comes up just a little bit short. Knut with the longest step putt I've ever seen in my life.
But yeah, you can see the drives that they had made their approaches pretty straightforward. Nothing really crazy. Mathias, wow, that was almost a great par save. A lot closer than I thought.
Agreed. I did think he had it for a second from that angle. We see Jakub put in his birdie. And I mentioned his maybe slightly errant approach. He was well within the circle, very close to the basket. Well done by him.
No doubt. This hole seeming to be one of the easier holes on the course.
This one, interestingly enough, averaged exactly 4.
Wow.
Middle of the pack in terms of difficulty.
Yeah, I
These
guess
guys
with that
shredding
gap.
though.
Yeah, the gap right off the tee, that can be a little treacherous if you don't get it.
So much better. Thank you.
Hole number 7, 109 meter par 3. Got a weird shape on this hole. Slightly uphill off the tee. You got this little hump that's going to start heading downhill afterwards, but you got to control the height because those trees we just passed have a low ceiling on them. So the shot's going to be something just skimming across the ground. Gotta control the angle of the disc though. Fading left is not what you want to do. There is OB right, but yeah, none of these guys are really going to deal with that.
And Severi, super speedy Severi, Saviniemi, fires his throw off nicely. Looks like he broke through the back of that tree line.
Gotta say that 5 times fast.
Knut up next. Looking very straight flying. Just fading out left at the end.
Yeah, too much height on that shot. Really pushed the ceiling there, caught a few branches, kicked him down a bit early.
And I know it's 109 meters, but do you think there's any value to throwing maybe a mid-range or something slightly slower flying just to break over that little hill and then end straight?
You would think so, and I'm sure a few of these guys are going to do that, but I would almost say the fairway would be a little easier just to kind of keep that height down. But we can see Mathias showing me up here with his mid-range, putting it, a meter off the ground, and just putting it right by the basket.
And
That was
what
the
I was
shot.
thinking, but easier said than done, as we see Knut with a little hyzer over his obstacle bush and sits it down nicely.
Yeah, good little scramble up there. Weird spot to be in.
Speaking of weird spots, Jakub giving it a great bid, looks to have flown just a little bit left from up on that hill through the trees.
Mm-hmm. And we can see the umbrellas are starting to come out now as Severi nails
Severi.
his birdie.
That guy's scramble putt is just masterful. He's all over the basket.
And watch out, that's 4 in a row for Severi. He is on a move.
And no pars yet.
Oh, you're right. No pars. Not a single par. Oh. That skipped right off the cage for Mathias, and he will still be out. You hate to hear that. You hate to be that guy.
Especially putting fourth from the group. Always tricky. And I would wager to say this is a longer or equally as far putt as the first one. Looks maybe 1-2 meters further away. So let's see him take his time here and put this one in for his par. And he is sitting at even at the moment, so this is make or break in terms of staying under par. That is another unfortunate missed putt. He will have one more to put himself in for bogey. Knut saving his par. Stress-free after his first position behind the tree. He didn't really have a chance at his 2, so Knut good to just take an easy 3. He did have a little tricky hyzer that he could have dropped in, but that's more of a hopeful situation. Let's see Mathias now put this in.
There you go. Unfortunate bogey for Mathias, but you got to take it when you got it. Prodigy situation there, but it happens. Happens to everybody.
That's the first time I've heard that phrase. Prodigy.
I stole that from Ian Anderson. Shout out, big guy. All right, hole number 8, par 4, 156 meters. You gotta miss that first tree right there on the right. That's the big one. If you hit that thing, sorry, you're gonna be bogeying it. This is a pretty sharp curve as you get here to the dog leg to the left. Most backhand righties are going to take a hyzer to get there. Set yourself up in this fairway. Probably an overstable mid, straighter mid. Get through these guardian trees. Again, you got that slight uphill slope behind the basket, kind of stopping your approach. Really attackable on the second shot.
And you do see the rain dropping, falling now. Severi throwing, I think, pretty quickly just to keep his disc in his hand dry, but goes out a little bit right. Grip now going to be a big factor for these players.
Yeah, this is the play you want to see. Big spike hyzer.
Oh, yeah.
Just around the corner. That should be a straight approach to the basket from there. Oh, you can hear it. Ugh.
Do you think this par 4 offers any chance for some sort of tricky cut roller? Or is it the air shot hyzer all day long?
Yeah, I just think with the ground, you see that dirt that's on the ground and it's really undulated. It's a roller there could really be, it would be tough to consistently land the angle on the roller.
It's a good point, especially with the rain falling now. Things getting a little bit slippery. Mm-hmm. You won't have that same grip. You won't fire through the grass as quickly.
Not to mention the downhill, just going to make it turn over a bit quicker. When you want to be going left, it's going to probably end up going right.
Of course. And
but
once again,
great sidearm Annie. That was awesome.
Holding true to his name, Speedy Saviniemi. Just walking up to the disc, releasing a great Anheuser forehand to get himself up there. We see Jakub now.
Also, beautiful touch on that sidearm Annie. Using the hillside to filter down to the basket. And that should net him the birdie.
Good stuff there. Jakub still bogey-free. With another look for his fourth birdie, we see Knut with his super nice tee shot, his prime placement, but turns over his approach just a little bit.
Yeah, just yanked over on that approach a little bit. Needed to be over the top of the disc, kind of leaned away from it. Oh my gosh, I was just waiting for that to go in. Wow.
Hunting the eagle, Mathias Villota. Good stuff there. Let's try and put one in for two.
All right. Severi to save the birdie there. Just getting up and down for the par.
I like Knut's hat.
It is very natural, let's say.
And a great birdie putt from him there to put that in. He is now 1 under par as well.
All right, almost the whole card back under par. Jakub jamming it in there.
When his putt is on, he is such a fun man to watch play.
That is true.
We see Severi now. Making his par save. Nicely done after a tricky first, catching the trees on the right. Good for him to get it up and down.
Yeah, unfortunately ending that birdie streak, but still at 3 down, you're not too upset there.
And also a nice bounce back from that man there. Mathias getting his 3 in, putting himself back to even.
Well, we got one more to get here. Not the most difficult hole, but still has some trickiness. We got a 150-meter par 4. Straight gap to hit about 80 meters off the tee. And it's going to curve sharp to the left and head downhill. Really just got to make it to that dog leg there. Set yourself up for this approach. You can do a backhand Annie for the righties, sidearm hyzer. Pick your shot. Nothing too crazy on this hole. No real OB, anything to speak of. Good birdie to get to finish out that front nine.
And I do have to give a quick shout out. Hole 8 had 2 eagles. Laurens Schauerhofer and Niklas Antila getting hole 8 in 2 shots. Crazy stuff. Knut's
The
there,
Austrian and the Finn.
showing them how it's done in Estonia. Knut's just connecting with an early tree on the left. Jakub looking for a little flex, maybe.
That was
Wow.
not the intended route, I will say.
But he hit the fairway clean.
And he is in position A, let's say. That was awesome. Good love from Jakub there.
We'll see. Mathias here. Back to even. Hunting this birdie would put him under par, but looks like he slipped a little bit with some footing. When everything is wet, the foot can slip, the grip can slip. You got to really play a tight game in the rain.
Oh, yeah. And early left is not where you want to be on this hole. Severi not so happy with that, but kicking straight down into the fairway is A-okay in my opinion. You could still make something happen from there.
And I would agree, a friendly kick to put himself placed very nicely.
Let's see if he's going to do something crazy. Oh, just catching a tree right before heading down the hill.
On
But
his shot, he tried to keep it right, keep it tight, but a little bit too tight there as he cuts the corner.
he should be able to get up and down from there, though. That is right in the middle of the fairway, right at the corner. Not much to go from there.
Oh, and Mathias also with not a lot on that throw. Not really any great gaps for him. Looks like he fought with quite a few branches.
Yeah, really showing the teeth on the left side of the fairway there. Or left side rough. I shouldn't call that the fairway. Knut with an approach there. Just coming up right side. You got to take the tags off of your rain jacket, Knut.
You don't got to call him out like that on
Sorry,
coverage,
I
Tony. Come
saw
on.
It just popped out.
Jakub getting a big kick left there on his approach. We see Severi now. He has hopped off the birdie train. We'll see if he can hop back on.
Oh, that is actually his approach to get up and down for the par.
Oh, that's right. He hit
And-
the early tree.
That's still some work to do. But Mathias getting right next to the pin. That was a beautiful jump putt approach.
We see Jakub here from the rough.
Where?
Tough to say exactly where the basket is.
Ah, okay.
A little floater over the top of everything. Puts himself within the circle. Not super close, but definitely a putt. I think he'll be comfortable giving it a go. There's that tag.
It's not my fault anymore. Now it's out. But he should feel that.
He should feel that. That looks like it's right on his neck.
I don't know. It's in my head now. I can't get away from it.
He'll figure it out. I'm sure round 2 he'll come out without that. Severi just firing past. That is his par putt that he just missed. He will have a look at bogey. I believe this is for Knut's par.
I think you are correct there.
And he puts it in. Good pace, good height. He is keeping his 1 underscore as we finish up this front 9. Jakub also for par. There it is. Really nice front 9 put together by that man there. Bogey free, 4 under.
That is putting in some work. Unfortunate bogey for Severi, but still 2 down for the front 9. Only round one. Lots more golf to be played.
And another eagle on this hole. Shout out to Roby Meniste. Good stuff.
These guys putting in work on this course. Well, that will do it for us, you guys. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at this front nine scores. We got Severi coming in -2, Mathias at even, Jakub leading us at -4, and Knut kicking it in at -1. Let's see how these guys ended up for the leaderboard front nine. Holy cow.
We see the hot round by Hennar Rudna, 7 under through 9. Pekka Hivonen, 6 under. Lauri Leitinen, Jonas Aalto, Raimo Kimmel, all at 5 under. Jakob's -4, tying him at 6th place. These guys are on fire. And given the different conditions, some people playing in the dry and the wet, you kind of expect to see it. But make sure to catch us on the back 9. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tony, it was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, buddy.